Hey guys, Wambuck here. Welcome back to the first ever Puck podcast. I'm your host, of course, Wambuck. Hello. Um, just to here with Mr. Luggen, our special guest today. This is gonna be my first ever podcast. But yeah, Luggen, how you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. So for those of you don't know you, some of you probably do from my streams and everything, but just introduce yourself.
I'm Luggen. My real name's Logan. I'm from Western Pennsylvania. I'm 18 years old, and I make gaming content on YouTube and Twitch, primarily COD, but I do play other games.
Nice. So speaking of COD, I know you've been playing Vanguard a lot recently. The game just came out.
Yeah.
How you been liking it?
Um, I think it's an alright game. The campaign is pretty solid. I haven't played all of it. The multiplayer is probably the most content we've gotten in a COD multiplayer at launch. In play like the last, I don't know, 7 or 8 years. It's actually complete. The zombies is a little rough. I don't mind it, but I know the community has had some pretty negative reactions to it. But other than that, I think the game is okay.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, like I've been like looking at Vanguard. I haven't bought it myself, but I've been looking at it. Campaign I've heard a lot of positive reviews on. Like the campaign has just been like really from what I've heard. But like the big thing was like the multiplayer. Like a lot of people have been talking really highly about the multiplayer and how good it is. Um like I was watching a Scope and Scope was like sniping and everything, and he said that like the different modes, especially like it's set up with the modes like that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Combat pacing is, I think it's going to be a saving grace to Call of Duty. Maybe not this year, but on a game that's maybe more like Modern Warfare, if that ever happens again, where it has a sort of slower, more campy play style. The combat pacing will help you like sift through that, and you could just go balls to the walls with Blitz, and that can be 20v20. That's what Blitz can go up to. So I feel like it really helps, with player choice, with the pacing of the game, and just overall play style.
I agree. Like it's like if you want to play campy, play 6v6 like on the big maps, or like you want to just go crazy, like yeah, like you said, like 20v20, like a shipment size map. Like it's crazy. Like how they did that, I really like. And on top of that, like the only thing that really bothers me about that game is it's still a skill base, but I don't think that's ever gonna go away just because Activision really crazy about that sort of stuff. But I mean, it's not that bad. Like it's like from what I've seen.
I mean, yeah, it's just COD. You're gonna have sweats. You're gonna have people that are garbage. It just kind of happens. And skill-based matchmaking at this point is kind of a staple in gaming. Any sort of multiplayer PvP game is going to have it. I guess whatever internal research shows that it makes more money, even though, from what I've heard, everyone in the community hates it, even players of a lower skill tier. But, I mean, hey, there's nothing we can do about it.
Yeah, I mean, like, and on top of that, like you said, like branching out to other games, like with skill based matchmaking, like for Fortnite, for example, like they implanted it like in chapter 2, and it's something that I like. There are certain games that I do agree with it being in, and there are certain games that I don't agree with being in, and Fortnite be one. I don't agree with Fortnite having skill based because like the skill gap is way too high, and I hate going against sweats in my because like the fact that the skill base, like the skill set is so high for Fortnite, like the fact when you get good, you're pretty much just punished for it. But like COD, like a COD, it's like meh, like because like there you're gonna get games where you get a sweat, and then the next game you could have like trash cans because like you got pissed on that one game. So like it's like it really just depends. Like and on top of that, like Apex, really anything can happen in that game. Same thing with Warzone. Like anything can happen. Like skill base really doesn't matter in those two games. My personal.
And I do think that's why Battle Royales continue to sort of reign supreme right now, even though, they should at this point be kind of starting to drop off. But because of the implementation of skill based matchmaking and how it doesn't really matter since BRs are already so random, anyways, But I do agree that in games like Fortnite or COD or anything like that has has casual roots should not have any sort of ranking system unless it's in like a specified ranked playlist. And
I
the way that COD does it is not really right either because it's just kind of like if you got curb stomped in your last game, you get bots, or if you did a little better than you normally would in your last game, then you go against the fucking Atlanta FaZe Pro team.
yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much like what COD is now. And do I agree with it? No, not at all. I like the old days like Modern Warfare 2 and BO2 where you it's like a combination of sweats and trash can. I like that better because you get a variety of players that, either A are really bad or B are like but and like get the combination of two going. And I like that. I like that personally better than going against either insane sweats or amount of sweats or a insane amount of bots. You know what I mean? Because it's not fun that way. It's either one or the other. It's not fine. You know what I mean? I'd rather have it that way.
Yeah, yeah. And I think part of the reason Infinity Ward did like this big talk whenever Modern Warfare came out on sort of why the gaming industry is starting to do this. And their reasoning I thought was kind of, I don't know, I would say it was either poorly worded or it's just poor reasoning in general. Is they're saying that people have gotten so good at Call of Duty and, they don't want new players to just get punched in the mouth and leave. And the part of that I don't really agree with is you know, everybody was a new player at some point.
Exactly.
Everybody just kind of got obliterated at some point or another. Like, I remember just when I was a little kid, like 7 or 8 years old, I started on Modern Warfare 3. I was awful. I went like 3 and 45 every game, but I still kept playing because I wanted to be the guy that kept dunking on me with fucking chopper gunners. That was awesome. And so whenever he says that people are just going to leave because they get beaten, I don't think that's the case. If anything, they're going to leave once they start to get better, or they're going to hit a skill ceiling early on because of this ranked matchmaking system not allowing them to improve.
And I agree with that 100% because I remember in BO2, like I was trash. I was like one of the worst players you could ever see. Like I was like you. I went like single digit kills and like 40 deaths. Like I was so bad. There was one time where I just went crazy. Like there was like one game where I remember like I would got like two chopper gunners, two warthogs, a lone star. Like I was going crazy. And I think I ended up being like 50 something and 20 something. And I was so happy because now at that point, like the reward for actually sticking with it and being suddenly now, oh my shit, I just did this. You know what I mean? Like that feeling you can never get away from. Like that I believe is like the true like true experience. Wanting to get better, wanting to improve, wanting to keep grinding and getting. That is what gaming should be, in my personal opinion. It's not shouldn't it, and on top of that, you can always have your casual games. Like you don't always have to sweat. You know what I mean? Like, but you'll improve over time more the more you play it. So skill based matchmaking is just a crutch for new players, not really more so a like a benefit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. And if you notice, I think it's more so of just like a general gaming community opinion. I don't think it's just us. I don't think it's just like this small side of the internet, but a lot of people have been saying that gaming just kind of feels stale right now.
I agree.
And there's nothing to play. Or they'll play something for a week and then get bored. And I feel like part of it is the gaming has sort of had the casual fun taken from it. Like all of these people that don't care about being a pro, that don't care about how well they perform in a game, and they just want to kick back and have fun. Like that's sort of been taken away from gaming. Is the just casual sit back on your couch? Because if you notice, like all of these like super casual communities, the sniping community, for example, because I'm part of that on Call of Duty, it's all of these old console players that never really cared. It was just all about clips, all about flashy clips. It was all about content. They're all on like $3,000 PCs now, trying to compete with these people that are playing like pros, holding themselves to the standard of clips. Whenever that was never how it was meant to be. It's just You sit on your couch and multiple kills with sniper rifle, then you cheer. It's just not simple anymore, and that's what I personally believe is what makes gaming feel so stale.
I 100%. I remember like playing on COD, like Cold War. Like whenever I started playing, I really when I got back into I was getting like dissed for being fake. I was like, then there were the next very next I would drop like kills in the game. Like I'd just get like 20, 10 kills because the guy is like sweating with his five or whatever. You know what I mean? Like it's it's hard because like you want to have fun, you want to have a casual, want to kick back and just relax, but you're not having fun because some guy is just, ruining it. And like the whole it's not just one guy, it's like a whole team. I would rather get sweated on by one guy rather than a 6-foot stack that's just sweating balls to the wall. You know what I mean? Like they said, like an Atlanta FaZe Pro team. Like, you know what I mean? Like I would rather I want to just snipe. I want to chill. But like people ever since Modern Warfare 2, people have been dissing snipe. Like, don't get me wrong, that's nothing new. But the fact of the matter is, like, there are people out there that just chill and relax and play. It doesn't matter if you're a sniper, a red gunner, a shotgun, a corner camper. You know what I mean? Like, everybody wants a casual experience, and like 25% of the player base wants to go balls to the wall, try to go pro that they're never gonna do. You know what I mean? Like, and they're just pub stomping is not the way to do it, in my personal opinion.
Well, yeah, because they are all people. I'm sure someone that thinks, "Oh, I'm gonna be an Atlanta FaZe Pro," or "I'm gonna, be this with my KD." They're looking at their stats in pubs and thinking that they're gonna be a pro player without realizing that there are very few people that make it and that are good enough to be a pro player. And these games have designated ranked playlists, and they're not in them because they get destroyed in them. But they somehow still are. I don't know if it's like delusion or they see all these streamers that make it and they think that being good at the game is how that's going to work or what it is. But it just kind of ties all into the skill-based matchmaking debate and like people thinking that they're going to be the next pro and all these other things that just like take away from casual gaming. And that's still why I think BR games reign supreme, is because anybody can kill anybody. Anybody in Fortnite could have killed Ninja back then. They still could now. And because it's so random, there's so many players, anybody in that lobby could be sweating. Anybody in that lobby could be terrible.
Perfect example. Like the rank, like right before we started this podcast, I was in a ring in Apex. There's a bronze 4 like punching the air, right? And I choked against him. Then my Octane choked against him. And then my Valkyrie choked against him. It was a bronze 4. Like this guy was level 29, bronze 4, didn't know what he was doing and clutched a 1v3. And clearly us three were the better players. But like you said, in a BR, anything can fucking happen. You could choke your shots and miss and then you die. The only like doesn't matter what your skill level is, you can make something happen. And that's what I feel like why and that's why I enjoy Apex. Because I feel like I can do something even though this player may be better than me. You know what I mean? Like that feeling that you like, holy shit, I just killed this guy and he's clearly the better player. You know what I mean? Like, I can't believe I just did that. Like that feeling is still there, and I like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that 100%. And I still play BRs from time to time, but it's coming just full circle here. I feel like the skill-based matchmaking in these games has taken away from me, like the thing that made me fall in love with gaming, and that's like arena PvPs, like classic
Yeah,
CODs.
yeah.
And I still do enjoy playing the new CODs. Like Cold War, that honestly, I would put that game in the top 3 Black Ops games.
Honestly, yeah. I would too. Like Cold War is just like Cold War was hella fun. Like even besides the skill based matchmaking part of it, Cold War is a hella good game. Even though it was unfinished, it's still a hella good game. It was way better than Modern Warfare. Way better. Like it felt like I was playing BO2 again. And that's why I kind of enjoyed it, because I felt like I was playing BO2 again. It felt like so fun. Besides the skill based matchmaking, put that aside. Like that experience right there with Cold War is just why I still like, kind of dip my toes into COD still.
Yeah, yeah, and that game, I've heard the community call it the game that should have been, which I agree. Because
Yeah,
for a player like me, I am a massive Black Ops fanboy. That's my favorite sub-series,
right.
and for them to release a modern day Black Ops games that was kind of like a tribute to Black Ops 1 and like bridge the gap between 1 and 2, I freaked out when they announced that. I was so excited. And it still was not my favorite Black Ops, even though like a modern day game like that really could have been. But the fact
Honestly,
that it
like,
launched unfinished
yeah,
was a big thing, which I mean, I can't really blame them. It was during a pandemic and they launched a year early,
right,
and
exactly.
there was skill-based matchmaking, but so I can understand that, but there was no reason for Activision or whoever is doing this to them. Like there was no reason for the game to be the way it was, and I really wish it could have been different because I still enjoyed the game regardless.
No, I did too, 100%.
Yeah.
Like
So what were you gonna say?
it's like honestly, like Cold War is just like how Treyarch designed Cold War was Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 in mind, like you said, but in a modern standpoint. And they did literally that. They took it and put it modernized, and I like that. That's why I loved it. It literally felt like I was playing BO2. Like I said before. Like it literally felt like I was back 12, 13 years old playing BO2 again. Like it was one of the coolest I've ever had in a while with the COD. I didn't like Advanced Warfare. Didn't like Infinite Warfare. Didn't like the only COD I liked in between BO2 and now is in between BO2 and Cold War is Black Ops 3. That's like the only COD I like in between then. And every other game, Ghost, Advanced Warfare, Infinite Warfare, BO4, all shit in my personal opinion.
Dude, World War II was criminally underrated.
I didn't mind. Okay, take that back. I didn't mind World War II. I honestly did not mind World War. World War II was actually a decent game. Not gonna lie. I personally didn't like the combat in it, but respectfully, it was one of the better CODs we had at that time. At least for boots on the ground.
Yeah. And it was also had kind of like Cold War syndrome where it launched unfinished and
Yeah.
was fixed throughout the year. The microtransactions never got better. That was kind of shitty. I
Yeah.
like the collection system, but overall, the community bashes that game to this day, and I still defend it. It was not that bad of a COD.
And one thing I did like about World at War multiplayer was the hub and the fact that you could 1v1 people in the hub. That shit was hella awesome. That was my favorite shit about World War II.
Yeah. Oh, I love that too. And I was kind of hoping for Vanguard that they would kind of bring that back or something, which there still is potential.
Yeah, no.
Games are live service games now. They could potentially add that back in. But I was really hoping we'd have something like that at launch because that was so much fun. And there was all like those emotes and stuff. The customization could have been crazy, and it would have given operators like in the store more value because you have a social space to run around in third person.
100%. Like I agree 100% with it. Like, and on top of that, like if they implemented something like that in Vanguard too, like dude, that shit would be like, dude, I actually would buy Vanguard because like that and like the fact that like the multiplayer actually looks good. Like I wouldn't mind trying it. I at least try to dip my toes into it because it does look like the multiplayer does look really refreshing. Like it does way better than Modern Warfare. It really does. And I think Sledgehammer did a really good job this year with their game. But like you said, the zombies was kind of lackluster, but that was only because they had like a little bit time to do it. So but I honestly would buy the game. Honestly, I'm thinking about getting it, especially if they add that social hub from like you were talking about, dude. That I would be sold 100%.
Yeah, And going back to the whole like Modern Warfare debate, what this game feels like to me is I would say that Modern Warfare was my least favorite COD. I
I agree.
despise that game. I hate it. It was horrendous.
The
And
combat in it was so bad. It was so bad. I hate it so
Vanguard,
much.
yeah. Vanguard feels like almost a refined version of MW. Like Sledgehammer to me has always felt like the experimental studio where they're willing to try new things, and if it doesn't work, they will listen to the community's feedback and change stuff. Sledgehammer has always seemed like they're willing to change stuff based on feedback. And Infinity Ward kind of like set out, they're like, we have this vision, and no matter how much people complained about it, they wouldn't do anything about it.
Those
They
types of studios I
refused to change
hate.
anything.
Those types of studios I hate. I love the
Yeah.
because like I like studios that are for the community, not for the company. If that makes any sense. Like
Yeah.
I want to like I want to build a game that people like, but I want their feedback to make it better. Like those are the types of studios I love. And for example, like with Mass Effect, like nobody liked Andromeda. Like a lot of 90% of the people that complained about like Mass Effect were hated Andromeda, and like right before they edited the ending of 3, like everybody hated it. But then once they edited the ending, like a lot of people just stopped complaining about it because like now they actually have something to like go for. But with this new Mass Effect that they were announcing, speaking of that, which we're doing like we're doing a 24-hour as soon as this video goes up. So make sure you guys tune in for that. But like this is like a I hope tomorrow on N7 day like they announce something, you know, big with this new Mass Effect game, because a lot of people like were complaining about the ending and we're complaining about a lot of different things about it, like 3 and like a lot of things about Andromeda. I hope they like, and they're the type of like BioWare's the type of studio to listen to the community feedback, listen to say, okay, what do we need to improve? What do we need to do? Like they literally took people into a room, like fans into a room and said, what do you want to do? What do you want us to do? What do we need to do better? Like literally, like they took a group of fans and said, what do we need? Like that is the type of studio I love. And I that's why I say I like Sledgehammer too, is because they're the type of studio to actually go into it and like say, okay, what do we need to do? What is this? What do you want this to do? What do you want us to do to make this game better for you to enjoy it? Like that is what I love about studios that do that.
Yeah. And I think that's the main reason that did make me cave and buy Vanguard. I didn't buy it till like 2 days before it came out, but I think for this game, I am most excited for DLC content because they will take into account what we want. Like, just from the beta to the release alone, they heard people's complaints, they fixed the radar, and they added Ninja as a perk, which was desperately needed for the game.
I agree,
But
100%.
they made sure to do that, and in just like that quick of a notice, they fixed all the bugs that people really had crippling issues with in the beta, and the game is solid. Now, I'm not gonna act like it's flawless. No COD is perfect, but
Right.
every issue that plagued the beta seems to be fixed. Gun balance isn't perfect, but I mean, it can be worked on, and I'm excited for the future content. And you know, I'm sure Treyarch is usually pretty good with the zombies, so I'm sure it will get better as time goes on. From what I've heard, they only had a month to develop Vanguard Zombies.
Yeah.
And obviously not their fault. Activision, you know, deadlines, stuff like that. But yeah, I look forward to DLC content because World War II, for example, they did that complete Division overhaul because people weren't happy. They didn't like certain things with Division, so they changed everything about them. So yeah, am really looking forward to their year of DLC.
And the game right now is actually really good off launch. Like I've heard a lot of positive feedback off launch with Vanguard, so it can only get up from here, especially with Sledgehammer running the show. And on top of that, like you said about zombies with Treyarch, like I honestly, and you liked Cold War Zombies from what I heard. I thought it was one of the best zombies ever. So I'm excited to see what round-based map they put out this year. And on the topic of DLC as well, like, I don't know if they're going to, do you think they're going to do free DLC like Cold War did? Or do you think they're going to try and go for paid DLC and release more
Yes.
maps?
They're doing free DLC. That's been announced. Everything, all the maps, all the zombies maps, all the content except for the battle pass and store bundles is going to be free.
Okay. So on top of that, like, another thing I wanted to say, like Cold War didn't really have a lot of deals. They didn't. Besides like the remastered maps from like BO2 and stuff like that. But I will say, like the maps that they did make for DLC content, like the ones that they released later into the season, those maps actually came out really, really good. I've heard nothing but positive feedback on the DLC maps that they made. Even though they only released like two or three or four, maybe at max. But like those maps came out really good. I love Apocalypse. Apocalypse is one of my favorite maps in Cold War, and that was their first
Yeah.
DLC map.
Yeah. Yeah, I the remakes is something I watched a video on this recently, so I know there was 9 remakes and 8 original maps that were in
Yeah.
Cold War that were added post-launch. And I mean, the remakes were fine. I would have rather had them do them like that than Modern Warfare's, because if you didn't know, they like quote unquote remastered maps in Modern Warfare, but they changed them. Like
Shipment,
they
for
would edit
example.
the maps.
Shipment. I think Shipment got changed a little bit whenever they released it.
The
Did they?
worst change I think I ever saw was probably Backlot from COD 4. They added a completely separate section to the map. They did it to all of them, all of the remakes.
I noticed too on Crash, when they added Crash back into Modern Warfare, like they added a new back, like the little building on the left side there. Like I don't think that was there whenever the original Crash was in the game. Like the building in one of the spawns.
The TVs,
Yes, that one.
that was there, but the area behind that was not originally there.
Yeah, okay. So around that area, like there was something
Yeah,
not right about that area. I felt it. Like I was like, I
yeah.
don't think this is like
And
there.
I would have much rather had the Cold War style remakes. And the unfortunate thing is this year they're back to doing it the Modern Warfare style, cuz
So they're adding areas to the original maps.
they're changing shit. Yeah, cuz if you didn't know, Dome and Castle from World at War are in Vanguard, and
Uh
they have separate areas. Like they have new areas in them. Like there's certain little things, and they added doors to the maps.
Do you think they're
And
gonna add Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3 maps to Vanguard, or do you?
probably not. I think they'll stick to the World War II setting unless they change like they keep the layout the same, but they change the aesthetic of the map. Which I mean they could do.
They
If
really
people
could,
ask for
yeah.
it enough, Sledgehammer will probably do it.
Because
And I wouldn't rule it out.
Sledgehammer made Modern Warfare 3, right? Didn't they?
They contributed a big part to it. It was with assistance of the new Infinity Ward and like Beanox and Raven, but I'm pretty sure they made a good chunk of it.
I really would
Something
like
like
to see like something like a remade Modern Warfare map, like the Modern Warfare 3 map, like something like I said, Dome, or like maybe even like because I know Modern Warfare added Rust as well, so maybe like Modern Warfare 3, what's oh shit, what is that one small map in Modern Warfare 3? Dude, I can't remember. There was like a really small map. Sorry guys, a little technical difficulty there. But as you were saying, so you like Modern Warfare 3, like you said, there was a map called what?
the other Dome. I don't
Uh,
actually know what map you're talking about. I didn't play MW3 that much.
there was a smaller map. I can't remember what it was called, but I would like Dome, but also I think it was called Turbine, where it was like the militia and like the 141. It was like SAS and militia. It takes place in Africa, and it was I don't think it was called Turbine, but it was like a rainy map, and it took place in a small town in Africa. I can't remember the name. But
You talking about
yeah,
Village?
Village. Yes, there we go. I think that was in Modern Warfare 3, right? It wasn't Modern
Yeah,
Warfare
yeah,
2. Okay, yeah.
yeah,
So Village, yeah. Hmm.
yeah. That I do like that map. That's not a bad map. I don't think they're gonna do that just for like the sake of whenever they did the Cold War remakes, they're like it's supposed to be like a tribute to the Black Ops games, and
Hmm.
they said the same thing for MW. Now, something I would be interested in though is people don't talk about them very much, but being that World War II theme and all, they should bring back some World War II maps. They
I
like
agree.
the Groston House was a great map. Let me think. Valkyrie was a great map.
What was that?
USS Texas.
Which was the one that was like on the island? The one that was on the island and it was like it had like the bunkers and shit. That map was really good. I can't remember the name of it though.
On
Like
an
it was on
island?
a it was like a shore on one area of the map, and then the other side of the map had like a bridge, and it was like yeah, I can't fucking remember.
Was it a war map?
Yes, no, it was not a war map. It was a smaller map. It was a 6v6 map.
Was it Valkyrie?
I may have been. I think that's what it's called.
That's like an old
It was
or
one of the
was it Sandbox? That was like the one with the toy soldiers.
no. The toy
That would be
soldier one
hilarious if
that
they
would
brought
be, yeah, that
back.
would be hilarious too. I would agree. That'd be funny. But no, it was like a it's like I've seen a lot of sniping clips on it with like spawn traps. It was like a bridge on one side, and I don't know if it was a shore, but it was like some open area on the other end of the map. And it had like bunkers on either side. I can't
Yeah, the only one I'm thinking of is either it's a war map. It's called Operation Breakout.
No, Valkyrie. I think it's Valkyrie because I can't remember. Oh, damn. There was like a bridge on one end of the map, and then it was like you can go under it. And a lot of people played on that area of the map. And then there was like it was like a trench and then a bunker on the other side. And then there was like an open area in the back.
Point to Hawk?
Yes, that map. Yes, Point to Hawk. Yes.
That map's not terrible. I'm not a big fan, but I don't think it would be bad.
That was one of my favorite maps in World War II. That was
my favorite map until Grosson House came out was Saint Marie du Mont.
Oh, okay. That was a good map. That wasn't too. I liked Valkyrie too. War and like Valkyrie was a good map too, and War was a good mode. I liked War.
I'm surprised it's not in Vanguard. It should be.
I agree. I think War is a really good mode, and it's
I loved World War II. So I mean, Ardennes Forest, Gustav Cannon.
Cannon.
That's a great map.
You know it's funny. I on Apex, there's this on Olympus. There's this POI that has like a cannon. It was like a defense cannon, and I call it Gustav Cannon because just for the memes.
That is hilarious. Maps that absolutely do need to come back are Flak Tower and Gibraltar. Those are great.
Gibraltar was
London
a good map.
Docks was a great map too.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think War in general needs to come back.
War was a really good mode. I liked it because it reminded me a bit of that one Overwatch ranked mode, like the ranked game mode. I can't remember but it was like you have to like capture the payload and escort it. Like that's really what reminded me War reminded me of like that one Overwatch mode. And that mode is really fun. That's one of my favorite ranked modes in Overwatch. So War kind of reminded me of that, and that was really fun.
Yeah. So that's where I think the direction that Vanguard might head, and being that like all these other studios kind of had sub-series to pull maps from, and Sledgehammer has just been more of like an experimental studio. I think because Valkyrie was an advanced warfare map, they redid the style of it and brought, I think it was called like Havoc or something in Advanced Warfare. But yeah, they did that. So maybe they'll like redesign more maps from AW or MW3 and port them. But I definitely think World War II maps are going to be re-released.
Yeah, World War II maps are like they need to come into Vanguard. So on your end, like what do you think personally, what you think out of like the last three cards we got: Modern Warfare, Cold War, and Vanguard? Like, of course, what do you think is better? Of course, you probably don't think Modern Warfare is better, but like, what do you think between Cold War and Vanguard? What do you think is better? Who did a better job?
I know the community is gonna say Vanguard, but
right.
I think it's Cold War. Still, I'm a massive Treyarch fan, massive Black Ops fanboy. I was invested in the campaign. I loved it. I would say that's probably one of my favorites.
Campaign on Cold War was really, really good. I agree. And I like that there's multiple endings, and you like the thing I really loved about Cold War campaign was like it reminded me so much of like how Mass Effect works, is because like the dialogue choices you make determine what happens at the end of the game. And I love that. Like that is the type of game that I love. And Cold War really put that and implanted that and did a really, really good job with it. And I think I like how there's multiple endings. That really warmed my heart how Treyarch did that.
Yeah. And I mean, a lot of it's just like personal stuff that I know most people don't agree with. I preferred the longer time to kill in Cold War. I thought that
Yeah.
having it take a few more bullets, I preferred that. I know the community doesn't, but I liked that more. And I the map design, I've heard some people don't like the maps. It was a simple map design. It was needed after Modern Warfare.
Yes,
And
definitely.
um it was just a super traditional COD. Like it wasn't on the MW engine, which I know the community loves. But I me personally, I prefer the classic feeling engine. No tac sprint, no fancy movement, just the arcadey feeling gunplay
Yep.
and movement.
I
And
agree.
I feel as if the zombies was more complete. And
Yeah.
I obviously it's not fair to judge Vanguard yet because the Cold War has had its full year. But in terms of just the base map, D Machina versus Duran Fong, D Machina was miles better. But that's just because Duran Fong isn't even completed yet.
D Machina was one of the better ones. I like D Machina and then what's that one map? I can't remember. But it was like a
Was it in Cold War?
yeah, it was shit.
There's Firebase Z, Mauer Toten, and Forsaken.
Firebase, I think it was Firebase Z. I really liked
That was the
Firebase
second
Z.
map.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
liked Firebase Z. That was one of a really good map
Firebase Z
too.
is my all-time favorite zombies map. I love that. Forsaken's a close second, but I love Firebase Z.
I haven't played Forsaken yet though. I haven't played Forsaken. That's
It
one
is a
map I haven't played.
fantastic map.
It
It
is.
kind of plays like Moon.
Really?
Yeah,
Then I need
yeah,
to play it because Moon is one of my favorite zombies maps.
yeah. It is a great map. But
Like it's actually
what did,
that was like the first map. Moon was like the first ever zombies map that I actually genuinely felt scared. Like that actually
like?
got a jump scare.
Oh yeah. What was it?
The big dude, like the big dude that like the
Oh, the dude that
like the
grabs you.
yeah the dude that grabs you like he
Dude,
literally
that scared the shit out of me.
yeah.
That I
Dude.
was like 10 years old when I played that. That freaked me the fuck out. I hated that shit.
And the fact that he's just like the fact that you can just like look at him and he's just
Yeah.
like like just moonwalking on you, but like he's like I don't know, like they're just creepy.
Nah, the guy that freaked me out the most, I would say ever in zombies, was from the Pentagon map. The guy that would steal your shit.
Oh, dude. Oh my god. I was so little whenever I first played that map. Dude, that guy, whenever I first had it happen, jump scared the shit out of me. Like
Yeah.
the three things that I've like the dogs don't do it anymore, but when I was younger, the first time I saw the dogs, it literally made me like jump off the couch and onto the floor. Because it scared the crap out of me.
Yeah, yeah. My first ever COD was fucking Black Ops 1 on the Wii.
Yep. Black Ops 1 on the Xbox 3.
I played MW3 on the 360, but I started on the Wii and I'm like, what's the zombies mode? And it scared the absolute shit out of me.
My first ever map was the theater. I can't remember the
Kino der Toten?
Kino de Toten. That was my first ever zombies map I played on
That was
Black
the
Ops
first
1.
ever one I played too. Actually, no, it was Nocturne Toten on World at War.
Doctor and Toten. Nice.
Yeah, that was the first map I ever played, and it scared the shit out of me.
I remember playing the Pentagon one on Black Ops 1 and that I literally played it once and I vowed to never play it again just because of that fucking one boss that you were telling me about.
Have
I
you
was like,
have you still not played it?
I've still not played it.
Dude, it's a great map, but
It is.
yeah.
No, it is. But that dude jump scares the living fuck out of you.
Yeah.
Like holy shit.
You ever get jump scared by the Mob of the Dead Moon Easter egg?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, I had some friends that used to scare the piss out of me. If you had a sniper
Mhm.
and aimed it at the moon, this like creepy looking girl would jump out and like jump scare you and fill your scope.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and it would like she would scream through like it was like ah! Super fucking loud.
Jesus Christ.
It scared the shit out of me. I was like 10.
What was it? What map was it?
Mob of the Dead.
It was on Mob of the Dead.
Yeah, if you take a DSR and you scope it on the moon, there's like this creepy looking girl that will show up and it will scream super loud.
What the fuck?
And it's just like it's like covers your whole screen. It scares the shit out of you. I'm pretty sure there's another one like that on Derice, but it's not the actual Derice. It's the giant remake on BO3.
I remember there was this Easter egg. I can't remember what it was, but like what on Black Ops 2. What map was it? Die Rise. I think it was on Die Rise. I remember like there was some like God damn it, I forget. I think it was like a Rick. I can't. It was when I remember hearing it about it when we were on the top of like the building and like the drag, you know, where the dragon is on top of the
Yeah.
building. Like there was an Easter egg there. I can't remember where it was, but like someone was doing it, and I forget what it. But I know there's an Easter egg on the map that it scared the shit out of me. I forget what happened.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't play Die Rise. I hate that map.
What was your favorite BO2 Zombies map?
Mm, I don't know. I know this is an unpopular opinion, but I think Black Ops 2 had the worst zombies. Um,
I don't think it had the worst zombies. I didn't mind Die Rise. Transit I think was pretty shit. Town was really fun. I love Town. Town was a good zombies map. Town, Town, Buried. I loved Buried. I don't know why I loved it so much, but I loved Buried. Buried and the witches scared the shit out of me at first, though. By the way, and then Mob of
yeah,
the Dead. Mob of the Dead was really fun too.
yeah. On BO2, I mean, I think BO2 is the worst Treyarch zombies. Cause I mean, yeah. But my favorite Black Ops 2 zombies map, it's Town. I would say is part of Transit, so I don't really count that. But
Yeah.
just as a standalone map, it's probably Mob of the Dead or Origins.
Stand of the Lone map, I would have to see either say Buried or Buried and Origins are like were my shit back then.
Yeah.
Mob of
Now
the
that I
Dead
think
with
about it,
Mob of the
I know
Dead every
Mob
now
of
and
the Dead.
again. Mob of the Dead every now and again was really good. I loved Mob of the Dead. Mob of the Dead was like one of the better zombies maps too. Like, and I
Yeah.
loved out the fact that I didn't mind them remaking it in Black Ops 4, but I didn't play it. That I hated Black Ops 4.
It
But
was, yeah, it wasn't a horrendous remake. A lot of the community doesn't like it. It was just the fact that they used like the Black Ops 4 system, so it still played like Black Ops 4 Zombies, which was kind of annoying. If it was just like a faithful remake, like a Chronicles remake,
yeah,
I think it would have been great.
I
But
honestly
they
think
changed stuff about it.
I like the only reason I like BO3 Zombies is because of Chronicles. I didn't
Yeah,
like a lot of the zombies maps on BO3, but I did really like the fact that they added Chronicles and added some of the OG maps, and
yeah,
I love that.
yeah. Some of my fondest memories of BO3 are those, and I mean, I don't think Horizon Rock was a bad map.
No, it wasn't at all. Though that was
Same
a good
thing with
map.
Revelations. I didn't mind that, but the
Revelation.
other two were kind of eh.
I
And
hated the first one. What was that first one where you're in New York City? I think it
Shadows of
is.
Evil.
I hated Shadows of Evil.
Yeah,
Shadows of Evil
yeah,
was
I
a
didn't like it
dog
either.
shit zombies map.
But I mean, like, also a thing that kept me playing BO3 for a long time, which I guess this isn't really part of the base game, but for PC players was the mods, the Steam Workshop.
Yeah, I love, dude. That the fact that they added that was away. I still play some of the zombies maps that people make on there too. Did you know they actually made a zombies map with the Modern Warfare weapons in 2019?
Yeah, yeah.
That map.
I've seen a few of
And I
those.
think it's a terminal map. I think it's like a remat. The terminal map. The terminal
Yeah,
map. Have you played? I think we played that one together. I think
yeah, yeah.
the one where you're like in the plane at first, like you're spawned
Yes,
on a cruiser and the carrier, and then you take a plane to the map. Like,
yes.
yeah, that map is really good. Like whoever made that map deserves to be working at Treyarch.
Yeah. Some of the things that really interest me are the people that are kind of starting to, people were really upset that Cold War didn't have mod support, and they're kind of taking that
Yeah.
into their own hands, and they're porting the Cold War engine into BO3, and then they're making like Cold War Zombies custom maps with Cold War like physics and perks.
I think that's what they kind of did with like Modern Warfare, like with the guns with Modern Warfare and that one terminal map, because they ported all the guns from Modern Warfare into BO3. So I think that's
Yeah,
what they did with Cold War 2.
yeah, which I think that's really cool. Those people that make those maps work really hard,
They do. They
and
really do.
they're really cool what they can do.
Speaking of fan-made games, SM Squared, are you gonna play that?
Yes. Yes, we don't have a definite release date, yes, but
Right. Yeah.
whenever it is, yes, I am playing it. Absolutely.
100%. I'm gonna be playing that John as well. That shit's those guys are work their asses off. It's only a group of 6 developers.
Yeah.
Like, and they work their fucking asses off. And I'm telling you, like, if that game gets shut down, I'm riding. Because, like, 90% of those games they're porting from are old. Old as shit. Like World at War, Black Ops 2, Modern Warfare 2. They shut down Modern Warfare 2 servers. Modern Warfare 2 servers can't be played on unless you play on fucking whatever.
MW4X.
Yeah.
Like MW2 Steam is offline.
MW2, not Steam, but like on like Xbox and PlayStation, can't play them. You can't play
Oh
online
yeah,
multiplayer.
well they didn't officially shut them down. The servers are broken. They don't work right.
Oh, okay.
They're just not bothering to fix them. But
Well, of course, because it's like a 10-year-old, 12-year-old game.
yeah, they broke at some point during 2019, and they just kept breaking. And I think you can still technically play it, but it's not worth fucking with it trying to get it to work.
And especially with how many cheaters that are probably on it too. Like, there's no
Yeah,
point.
but I mean, I think it should be fine because, like you said, it's old games. They said the furthest that they're going is ghosts for maps, and then for weapons, I'm pretty sure they're going up to Black Ops 4.
That's really
And I think it should be fine because all these other clients are still up, and I mean, like, there's an Advanced Warfare client,
yeah.
and there's been no issues with that.
I
Because
mean, I hear rumors that they're putting a BO3 client too soon.
there's no point of doing that for the simple fact that there's a client built into Steam BO3. Like, there's mods and there's
Yeah.
a server browser. There's no real point.
I see that. Unless
So
unless
they
I
might
heard
be hosting servers.
yeah. That's what I'm thinking. That's probably what I heard.
They could be hosting modded BO3 servers with like the sort of base rules of those other ones, but I don't think they would waste their time with a client.
Yeah, I agree.
But something I've seen people begging for a long time, and something I think would be really cool, is a World War II client.
That
I
would be nice.
I think that would be really cool because
Are they adding? Because you said they're going with guns as far as Black Ops 4. Does that mean that they're putting World War II guns into that game too?
it could be possible.
I wouldn't
They've
doubt
said that
it.
there's like 100+ guns, and we only have like 1 or 2 from each category revealed.
I know as well that I think they said they were putting Modern Warfare remastered guns in there, like COD 4 remastered guns in there.
Yeah, it's the guns that they added to COD 4 Remastered, like, that weren't originally part of COD 4, yeah. Because I've seen gameplay, they have the S-TAC from MWR in there.
Damn. I know this also, so I was watching Scope's video on it too. I think they had the intervention, like the intervention from remastered
Yeah,
in there
that's
as
what
well.
the S-TAC is.
Oh, that's okay. But like as well as what was that other gun? I think it was from BO3. Oh, fuck. I saw it on their website. It was PDW. PDW. That was from BO2, but still PDW.
Yeah.
The Vesper. That's what I was thinking of from Modern Warfare Black Ops 3. The Vesper. They had the PDW, the Vesper. They had a lot of like old school guns that I really liked in all these old games. They're putting two. I think didn't they say they were? No, they were only putting one variant of MP5 in there, right?
They could be, I don't know, I don't understand why you would need more than one, because they can just balance it however.
Exactly. But yeah, they're adding a variety of different guns into that game. I'm super hyped for it. And you said they're adding up to Ghost, so that means like BO2 maps, Modern Warfare 2 maps, Ghost maps.
Yeah.
Damn. Modern Warfare 3 maps. Damn.
Because I know the map porting especially. I've ported maps from the newer CODs, and the way that it works is only COD 4 was the last game, but I think before, or no, it was World at War. World at War was the last game that officially supported mods until BO3. So COD 4 also officially supported mods. It was before that. But what they have to do is they have to take these new maps, or like say if they want ghost maps, for example, they have to take them and I think they have to. I don't know what it is. They have to like port them from scratch into COD 4, and then they have to export them out of COD 4 so it runs in the MW2 engine, and then put it into SM2. So I'm sure, however they're getting like these new maps in there, it's not going to be easy.
So besides that, like, so do you? So what do you? What is your personal opinion on COD right now in its current state?
In its current state, I mean, I think right now we're in the honeymoon phase, so everything's going really well. Um, from like a realistic standpoint, I feel like
A 1 to 10. Give me like a one
a Vanguard.
at the current
Um,
state.
I want to rate it by category, I guess. So campaign, I'd give it like an 8. I haven't finished all of it, but I've played most of it. Um, it's just kind of like your run of the mill war story, but I had fun with it. And I mean, like that's all that really matters. It's an interesting take. They described it really well. They said it's their unique take on World War II, which I like it because while the game's not hyper realistic, it's also not like super unrealistic. And I
Right.
feel like it's a World War II game that can be like separate itself from the category, but at the same time not be super goofy and like upset like fans of more of a realistic historical thing because it's something that definitely could have happened and it is based off of real soldiers.
Okay.
The multiplayer, I it'll probably change. I would say it has a lot of content and most of it's fairly decent. The multiplayer it feels well made. It feels like they put love and care into it. It has little issues here and there. The maps are not the greatest thing I've ever seen, but the combat pacing, I think the way the maps were designed, they were made to work in every sort of like player count. And obviously you can't have super fantastic maps if you're trying to design them to play with a variety of players. You either have to
Right.
make them flow or make them like work very well with one specific style of play. And what they've done is they don't play great in any sort of like pacing, but they play good in all three.
Okay.
So I'd give the multiplayer probably like a 7. And the zombies, it's really bare bones. It's pretty much just a copy and paste of Cold War, but less content. And I know, obviously, I feel bad because I understand it's not the devs' fault. But I'd rather I wouldn't really give this one a score out of 10. I would just say I'd rather the game have this than nothing at all as a
Right.
side mode. And I do enjoy playing it. Some people are complaining about it. I like it personally. I will still be getting Dark Aether this year, like every other
So
year.
once they release that round based map, which we don't know what it is yet. We don't know what it is yet. I don't think. Right.
No.
So once they release that round based map, what would like if it's like good, but it's not like the greatest. What would you say it would rank? And they added stuff. And then on top of that, they added stuff to the map that you play. What would you say?
Um, the Runfong has potential. Um, I think it's a good starter map
Yeah, I
for
agree.
like to introduce like if they're going to continue with this new style of zombies, I think it's a great starter to introduce it. Um, I think overall just for new players, if it were round based, I think it's a great intro. They keep it simple. I mean, for the experienced community, I think there's still content that obviously has yet to come. But
Do you think they should add an Easter egg to the map they have right now?
they announced that's going to be happening.
Okay,
There is
awesome.
going to be an Easter egg. Yeah,
Good.
like I said before, my theory was they just weren't done with it because of the time crunch.
And you were right. They're not even close to being done with it. Like Activision just says, "Here, month, do it." You know?
Yeah, yeah. So honestly, I feel like since I feel like these issues where they were forced to rush it out and they didn't have time to make a skill tree, that's probably going to hurt it for the rest of the year because I don't see one coming. So it will probably be almost as good, but a step down from Cold War Zombies. And that, to me personally, that's my favorite zombie, so that's fine. I will still play it. I'll still have fun with it. It's not the end of the world that we can't like earn the crystals and upgrade our perks because it wasn't a thing in zombies before and people still played it. And their new system's not terrible, but they need to work on the point system. 30 points per kill is not enough, and that's for a critical.
Yeah.
just a body shot is 20. That is not enough. Then
That's
they
that is a very what I was very surprised when I saw that because I was like, that's such a low amount of points, especially with like all the perk. I mean, yeah, you get the first tier of perk for free, but how expensive that shit is. On top of that, the first pack is like what 15 grand, like that. That's not
yeah,
enough.
you can get a max of 30 kills or 30 points per kill if you hit a crit, and then there's 3 tiers of pack punch. It starts at 7,500, then goes to 15,000, then it maxes out at 30,000, and then each perk at its base tier is free, but there's 5 perks, and then tier 2 is 2,500, tier 3 is 5,000, and then tier 4, which is the max, is 7,500, and you have to get that for all 5 perks, and then on top of that you have to pack a punch, and then you have to get salvage too for armor and like other crafting materials. So I played a game today that's probably about 2.5 hours, and I just barely got tier 3 pack, and that's because I sat in one of the objectives and just farmed for a majority of the
There's no
time.
pause feature because it's down on a dedicated server. So like,
No, yeah, they run on dedicated servers, so there is no pause feature.
I hope they add that season come
They
season
announced
1.
that's coming. That
Okay,
is
good,
coming.
good, good, awesome. So now before we end this, I just want to ask you a few questions.
Okay.
Favorite map, favorite zombies map on Cold War, favorite multiplayer map on Cold War, favorite zombies map, and favorite multiplayer map on Vanguard.
So favorite zombies map on Cold War. Forsaken and Firebase Z are probably like at a tie for me. I would put Firebase Z maybe slightly higher.
Okay, so
Uh,
Firebase Z on
that's probably my
this.
favorite map of all time, not just Cold War.
Really,
Yeah.
really. Okay,
And then favorite multiplayer map. I mean, originally, like if it's a non-original map, that's Nuketown. But I mean, like everybody likes Nuketown.
yeah.
Out of all the maps, I would say,
The
that's a
original
hard
map.
choice.
Original map.
I like all of them.
The multiplayer maps in Cold War
Shit.
were amazing. I love them. to death.
Shit, that's a hard choice. It's probably like Apocalypse or fuck. Yeah, I don't know. That's a hard choice. The one that's coming to mind right now is Apocalypse.
Yeah. I honestly believe that too. Like Apocalypse is my favorite map, original map in that game. Firebase Z or Firebase Z I think is my favorite map too. I wouldn't call it my all-time favorite map because I would definitely put it in my top 3 because Firebase Z is like I had so much fun on Firebase Z. Like it was a fucking blast. Firebase Z and then for zombies, and I agree with you. Cold War Apocalypse is probably my favorite original map on Cold War. I haven't played Vanguard yet, so let's see our favorite multiplayer map. What do you think?
Shit, I don't know. A lot of the maps are very similar. You know, obviously the aesthetic is different. It's still the World War II thing, but I mean, they're very similar to because they have to play with all 3 combat pacings.
Right, exactly.
But I would say that it gets a little chaotic in Blitz, so I don't know if I put it there, but it's Das Haus. It's
Das Haus.
a map slightly bigger than Shipment. It's probably like a Shipment, but if they added like a third to it, like if they took a third of Shipment and then they added that to it, that's probably the size of Das Haus, and it's like it's just kind of like it's like Kill House, but if it had more walls.
Gotcha. So it's basically like a big house, basically that you fight in. Okay, nice.
Yeah, and it's really chaotic, but it's fun. I like.
I mean, basically what Shipment is, huh?
Yeah, community is already begging for Das Haus 24/7. I've seen it.
Damn, that's awesome. Well, that's good.
Yeah,
that means the maps are really good. So
yeah,
that's really good. All right, so I think we're gonna end it there. But Luggen, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. Sorry about the little technical difficulty earlier.
Yeah, absolutely.
But thank you for coming on, man. Like I appreciate you. And guys, be on the lookout for another one. We got another special guest coming next week. So be on the lookout for more podcasts. But Wampa, this is Wampa and Luggen. Thank you guys. I appreciate you guys for listening or watching wherever you may be. And thanks, guys. And I'll see you in the next one. Thank you, guys.